guys, so making a second attempt to shoot some photos for Mott Bow. I am currently on East Broad Street in Savannah when it's kind of blowing, and trying to get my gimbal right. Man, I can't remember last time I've been on this street. I think we was lining up to battle Savannah High at Johnson and one on. As you can see, I got 2 tripods, one to hold the gimbal. Got the shirt, I got my camera in my bag, Canon R6. Probably gonna shoot with the 35 or the 50, I'm not sure which one. But it feels good out here. It's not too hot, not too cold. Just making sure I don't get towed. I think I'm gonna pick a spot and just start shooting and hop to it. I still gotta change my shirt. I didn't put it on because I know I had to carry some stuff down here and I don't want to wrinkle it. And it's not like I have a portable steamer with me, so. It rained the whole weekend when I was off, so I couldn't get down here to shoot, so that sucked. But I'm gonna pause this so I can attach this gimbal to the tripod. So this first shot, I think I'm gonna take some shots probably coming up these stairs, probably going down the stairs, I'm not sure. Probably some of me sitting on these benches. As you can see, these benches right here. And it's a nice little baseball field right here too, with some bleachers. I might go take a shot with me on the bleachers, but the goal is to showcase the jeans, which fit really good. As you can see, I don't have to put no belt on, and the polo shirt. So I might walk a little further down, see they built something like a, I don't know what you call it, foyer or something, I don't know. Hope I'm not ashy. I'm bad with keeping lotion on me. I gotta keep lotion. I'm horrible with that. But I'm gonna get my camera. I'm gonna swap shirts right quick. Always iron your clothes, steam out your clothes before you go and shoot. Self-portraits saves you a lot of time. And try to keep, everything from getting wrinkled. I got my little pudge. I've been eating some Pringles this morning. Hitting the gym right after this. So I got my tripod. I went and got a new battery for my remote. I needed a CR2032 watch battery. Got my Canon 50. And I need to tighten this up. Depending on how this audio sound, I think I'm gonna just go ahead and order that DJI mic too, because I want clear audio so you guys can hear me. I know the wind's blowing out here, so I'm not sure how it sounds. But I also gotta figure out how I'm gonna record clear audio when I'm shooting clothes, because I don't have to have it clipped to my shirt. I'm gonna have to Photoshop it out every single time. Got my nifty remote. All right, so let's see what we want to shoot first. I'm trying to think, do I want to tuck this in or not? I'm not sure. I might as well. All right, first shot. All right, so first shot, I think I'm gonna just go ahead and do the bleachers first. Start up top and just work down. Since I'm looking at the bleachers, I'm trying to figure out what angle I want. If I want to face this way or face that way. I gotta think about the sun. The sun is coming this direction, pointed that way. And I see more light hitting this end right here, so I think I'm gonna go with that. Even though I wouldn't mind it pointing to that direction, but let's see if this looks, see how this looks actually. All right, get my angle right first.
Trying to get another shots.
Trying to, dirty. All right, so I got my angle set, and I got it focused right here where I'm gonna be sitting at. So let's take a test shot. All right, first shot is way too dark. I'm gonna have to probably gonna bring the shutter speed down to probably like 80 of a second. I'm not moving, so, and probably drop the aperture to like maybe 4.5, around 5. Probably increase the ISO, probably that 4,600. ISO is kind of low, it's on 100, but I am in the shadows, so it's like I'm not in the sun, so I'm gonna have to up it up to get some more light inside. So, all right, so I like what I got. I got the shutter speed at 160 of a second. The aperture is at 4, and I have the ISO at 250. So it's not too blown out. It's nice, evenly lit. Yeah, so I'm gonna take some test shots. All right, so the shots look good, but I have to lift the tripod up so I can make it more focused on the back. And I need to fix my shirt a little bit. All right, I don't want to look too bunched up, you know what I mean? Stretch these jeans in. All right, one more. Kind of want to straighten your posture up, because when you're leaning over, it kind of looks funky. So I gotta remind myself. And we still gotta go up a little more on the tripod. So I'm gonna raise it up, and I think we'll be good after that. All right, so I think I got my shot I need for the bench. We're gonna move down a little further to the stairs to take those, and then we're gonna get in the sun and see what happens. All right, so one of the best key ways I like to find a good shot is to, take my camera and just put it in different spots. You want to get some good test shots. See what works best for you. Like, once again, you got to keep in mind we're shooting the jeans and we're shooting the polo also, but you have to keep in mind the sun, where it's at, where the light's hitting. I actually like some shots when the sun is coming through leaves and through trees. Like, you actually see, you can get some different type of texture, in the shots. I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna do. All right, I'm gonna take my camera. Like I said, I want to get a shot of me actually walking up the stairs, right, so I can see the back of the logo. That's what they want. So let me take a look and see what works best. All right, so I don't like the look of the street because there's a huge puddle right there. Let me show you. All right, and there's a trash can. So it's best, I think, to shoot from the bottom of the stairs where it's less distraction in the background. So we're gonna go all the way down to the bottom and we're gonna get a lower angle shot, possibly. All right, so I'm thinking about getting a shot going vertically up the stairs like that, and then maybe a shot at a 45-degree angle, catching me coming up from the side. And we're gonna see how that works. I can't have you in the shot now, can I? So I gotta bring you down and have you monitor from the back. All right, so let's get a test shot. All right, let's see if we're in the right spot. I don't know if you can see that. So, things we have to work on. I think we actually want to tuck the shirt in a little more on that. Let's see. I'm about to suck it in a little bit. All right, let's try that one more time. Like I said, we have to show off the logo, remember? All right, let's take a look at some of these. So we're getting a little something here. That one's a pretty good shot. I like that one. Well, it looks like we're gonna have to get in a little more close because I want to get a better shot of the logo on the back. I'm trying to stick with the 50. I don't want to switch up to the 35 millimeter, but I might have to. But we're gonna try to stick with the 50. All right. Got an AF button on here, which is what I like. It's AF for autofocus. So you hold it down halfway, kind of lock onto you, then you press the shutter button. Almost. That's not bad. Well, disappeared. What's that? All right, but now I'm gonna do 45 degrees. Kind of get in there a little close. Yeah, see, that's not bad either. So we got a little 45-degree angle shot. Okay. I kind of feel like I might need to lift the tripod legs up just a little higher. Yeah, let's do that. So I can get in super close. All right. Kind of hip to hip, you know what I mean? Seems like they came out good, but I don't think they were in focus. So I'm gonna try it one more time. We're gonna get it. All right, I like that. It's pretty good, right? clean shot. You know what I mean? I think we got it. Now, we'll focus on full body. I think the bleachers would be good because it's fully lit outside of over there near the park. Might take a walk over there also. Let's do the bleachers and let's see what happens. Man, I gotta be honest with you guys. I'm having like a lot of fun right now. Making tutorials is so fun, especially when you could get time off to do it. I got up this morning, I clocked in around like 12:20 because I knew I wanted to, get this done for Mott Bow because they've been really good to me, and I told them I was going to get it done. Unfortunately, I get rained the whole weekend. Tomorrow's Valentine's Day, and I have a cool red suit. Ooh, I got an idea. Like posing on the gate. That would be dope. Yeah. Hit him with the Charleston White. Yeah. But yeah, I got a cool red suit that I want to shoot for Valentine's. So my goal is to finish this, hit the gym for at least 30 minutes, shower up, go edit these, have it done by at least 3 or 4 o'clock, go shoot the suit and do the tutorial for that and have that done for the night so I can have that posted by tomorrow too. I already have a tutorial scheduled to post on YouTube already, but I want to post this for Valentine's Day. And I bought the suit like in December and I didn't even have a chance to wear it. I got it from Aces. So let's hurry up, let's talk it. So my idea is to, catch it, like leaning against the baseball fence, you know what I mean? This is like my Jordache pose. I might have to get the 35 for this, I don't know. Let's do a test shot, see what the light looks like. Super bright, I'm gonna have to turn this down. Let's do ISO 400, shutter speed at 320, still kind of hot. Let's bring the shutter speed up to 640, aperture 4.5. All right, let's see what this works. See this fence is leaning in. I'm gonna have to fake lean it back. Whoa. All right, here we go. Fix my foot. All right. Let's see if this even works. Gotta take a look. And of course, it's dark. That's why I should have brought my flash. So you can see that. I'll put the image on the screen. So see the sun coming this way. Maybe we should take a picture from inside the field. What you guys think? I don't know. I like the outside though. Let's keep looking. We don't want to keep stopping. Get an idea, you run with it. I do like the sun right here though. So we're gonna try one more time. Let's see what it looks like right here. Gotta keep in mind that we're shooting the jeans, right? So now I don't want to get any lens flare. I kind of want it from the other side. Yeah, see, in cases like this, you need a flash because you don't want a blown out sun. You want to keep the blues in the sky, but at the same time, you don't want to open it up so far till like the sky's blown out, which is what I don't want to do, just to get light on myself. And I'm not gonna do that. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna shoot from inside. And to be honest, I'm probably not gonna like the shot, but since I'm out here, I'm gonna take the shot anyway. I'm gonna come back to the bleachers and we're gonna wrap it up. We're gonna go edit these, all right? Yeah, because if I shoot from inside, the sun is hitting me directly, all right? I don't have to worry about a fill. We got the bleachers right there. Now I have to figure out what background I want. Of course, I'm gonna want it facing this way, right? Look at that. I don't want it facing the street. All right, let's take a look, see what it says. Let's see what it do. As you can see, a lot more light because the sun is coming in, right? Let's focus on the back of the jeans again, all right? Now these look pretty good. All right, hold up. All right, these look pretty good right here. There's a lot of shadow under my arm because my arm was covering it, but covering the logo, but let's try it again. And since my arm is blocking the sun shadow, I'll probably have to turn more this way. So let's get the camera to face more towards the fence. All right, let's see what we got. Not bad, not bad. All right, let's take these bleacher shots, man. And I don't know if I'm gonna walk over there, bro. That's a long walk. I kind of want to do one like sitting on the stairs going up, but I don't know. I think after the bleacher shots, it'll be good. Maybe me leaning against the bleachers, that would be cool. See, man, the sun should have been on the other side of the world right now. Because I could have been like, if the sun was on this side, I could have like leaned back against the bleachers and the sun would have been hitting the back. But let me see something. You know, it's also good if you don't want to bring a flash, a reflector would have been good. But I'll have to have another stand to hold a reflector to bounce more light in. So that's why it's always good to have an assistant. All right, maybe I could do a lean on this middle rail. I'm feeling that. You're like weird, awkward, I don't know. Can't remember myself as a kid doing it. It don't look too bad though. I just gotta come up a little closer. I'm missing my 24 to 70. All right, let's see what we got. These aren't too bad, you know what I mean? Got you know, it's worth an idea, right? Now let's try some of me sitting down. All right. That done. All right. Suke. Let's see what we got here. All right, so anything else? Well, we're gonna look out of the sun. Whew. Cooking over there, boy. But I think we got what we needed. So we're gonna take these back to the lab. We're gonna process these and capture one. Go through the basics, you know, check the highlights, shadows, sharpness or whatever. We're gonna pick the ones we like and we're gonna import it into Photoshop, do some quick editing, get our caption together, everyone to post, tag the right people and share it. I'm gonna send this off so I can get paid, just like that. And I'm gonna go get my suit together so we can try to come up. What I did with this red suit, I created some cool images in Midjourney that looks like a playing card, King of Hearts. I should have did King of Diamonds, but I told Midjourney to create like a playing card that looks like a King of Hearts, and I want to create the suit and shoot myself and impose it into that and create some kind of, you know, cool looking, fashionable Alice in Wonderland looking type of joint, you know what I mean? Something that's a little real cool, but I also want to just take some pictures in it, period, you know. I want to come downtown and take some shots tomorrow, but I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get off in time and be able to get ready for Bible study, so I don't know, I'm gonna see. But this is a wrap, and I just have to debate on whether I want to actually do the editing in this tutorial. I probably will. It's not gonna need that much as far as in post because I'm not shooting my face or anything like that. It's mostly gonna be doing, you know what, I am. Let's jump to that, and that'll be the next clip after this. Capture one, and as you can see, here was the dark images I was taking before I reset the aperture and shutter speed, and you can start seeing the images I shot when I was on the bench, when I was walking up the stairs. We have the baseball field, standing next to the gate with the sun facing in and the sun facing out. Here we go, standing on the bleachers and sitting down, which would be the shots that I say I didn't like. All right, so what I like to do is just start off with the images I do like, and then, all right, let's say we start down here at the bottom with me sitting down on the bleachers, right? So I'm gonna scroll through these. Let me see how many I take. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of this pose right here. Actually, this first one, I actually like this pose. It's nice symmetry. I can see everything that I like. And what I would do is go over here to this icon over here. I usually click on chromatic aberration, which really, I don't think I need that much on this. And then I will go over to start color correcting. I would check my profile. As you can see, it's set to Canon EOS R6. Wow, it was already set to linear response, which is interesting. If I click on auto, it's automatically gonna, as you can see, it has nice bright lights. This looks pretty good, but linear response is basically, it's kind of like shooting like a raw image completely, just basically what you see, what you get. This is basically after it adds the curve adjustments and whatnot. I actually like this right here, and I think I will go in and correct it myself. Let's click on auto white balance to see what happens. As you see, it kind of warms the tone up a little bit. Let me see if I use an eyedropper and see what it gives me. Not that much bigger difference though. It does get a little kind of warm though. I think I'm gonna drop it down a little bit to about right there. All right, moving along. We have our shadows and our highlights. I kind of like my highlights where they're at. Slide on, take a look at the image here. Grab my hand tool. Everything looks nice. All right, midtones look pretty decent. I might want to just increase the midtones just a little bit, give it a little pop. And let's go over to our next folder. Let me see what, if I click on auto exposure, let's see what happens. I like to do that just to see what it'll do. Okay, so I increase the exposure. Let me go back out of that. Let me see if I increase the brightness. No, that kind of like screws up a lot of stuff that I don't want. What about high dynamic range? Drop the highlights by 15 and increase the shadows. I really don't want my shadows. I kind of like my shadows like that. I'm gonna bring the shadows back down. I will drop the highlights though. And usually I will increase the whites, but this whites over here look kind of blown out over here on the left right here. So I think I'm gonna drop the highlights down a little more to about right there, maybe -34. And I'm gonna increase the structure to about 6. And I think that's good so far. Sharpening's all right. Let me check my neck, my face. Looks pretty decent. I can dig that. All right, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna right click on that and I'm gonna go to edit. If you guys want to see the before and after, let's do this. Let's do clone variant. So let's clone that and let's click on one and let's just reset that. Go to, I haven't reset the image in so long. Here we go. Reset. So you can see image 1 and image 2. The difference in the color balance. This one is a little more bright. It's popping a little more. Even though the blues in the shirt, it's a little blue, but the shirt is black. That's the thing. The shirt is supposed to be black. So that's something we might want to keep in mind. I might want to correct that in Photoshop by targeting those blues, or we could just target those blues right now. But I don't want to do that because it's going to probably take out the blue out of my sky. So I'm gonna just do that in Photoshop. So let's go to edit with other, and let's go to Photoshop. I'm not used to editing my images on my MacBook. I'm used to doing it on my PC. So on my PC, it would automatically go to my Photoshop and automatically open up. I think I have to look for it on here. Here we go. Let's edit it here. I don't want it to be a TIFF. I want it to be a PSD file. 300 resolution, 100%. Let's do sRGB space 8-bit because we're going to be posting this online. Even though I do want to keep it at Adobe, I'm switching things up, so we're going to see what happens. All right, so let's scrounge around this image and see if we need any things we need to change. Let's duplicate this layer, hit Command J. Let's grab my healing brush right quick, which would be J, I'm assuming. There we go. And drop that brush down a little bit. And we're gonna go in here and just do a little quick heal on some areas that I don't want. You know, quick trip to the barbershop. Nothing wrong with that. And all I'm doing is basically highlighting my mouse over the areas that I want removed, and I'm just clicking down once. This would be so much easier if I had my tablet, my Wacom tablet that I have on my PC, but I'm getting out of my element, you know. Start editing on my MacBook. What I need to do is see how I can connect this huge Wacom tablet to my MacBook, but I don't feel like disconnecting it and carrying it with me every time I leave the office. You know, and I don't want to pull it out in Starbucks while I'm sitting there working on the go. So I think it's time to invest in a smaller white Wacom tablet. that I can keep in my bag that I carry my laptop. That way I can use my pen for my Wacom tablet. Cause once you get to using that, man, it's just like you just get spoiled. You know, it's just like you don't want to use the trackpad on the mouse. You don't want to use the mouse, especially when it comes to editing. So I want to let me back out of that and leave those, because I don't want it looking too, you know, I don't want to say patchy, but looking like I'm taking away from the skin texture. Even though this is going to be an Instagram post and people aren't going to be zoomed in that far, but I've gotten so accustomed to detail that, you know, detail matters. Even these little things right here. I think I'm gonna go ahead and just remove these little screws right here. I'm gonna go right here, and we're gonna do content aware scale or content aware fill. I think it's scale, but you know what? We're just gonna do this right here. Even though it looks warped, I don't like that. Let me see if I drop the quality down a little bit. I'm pretty sure it's scale. I seen a guy on Instagram do this when he just moved it to the side. Oh, so what if I interesting, let's do this. Content aware scale. Let's move this over. Booyah. But now it looks dark, so let's just highlight that again. And content aware fill. Let's see if that lights it. Yeah, it just looks horrible. You know what? I'm gonna just stick with that, because you know what, this is a bleacher. Or I could just hit O and just dodge that little area, and let's make sure we're dodging the shadows, and that should help a little bit, right? Exposure 50, shadows, maybe not. I'm not sure if it's working. Can't really tell the difference. I think it is a little bit. I just want to uplift the shadows a little bit. I don't want to do too much work, even though I am being a little extra right now. All this is really important. But moving along. Let's try a more lighted area. Maybe I should have did that first. And let's go to edit content aware scale. Slide that over right there. Yeah, see, I don't like that. No, I don't like that at all. So what we're gonna do, we're just gonna keep the screw and we're gonna keep it moving. See if we notice anything else. No, not really. I don't like this little gap right here, so I think I'm gonna just cover that in with the clone stamp tool. Hit option and just brush that in right there. Alright, that's kind of annoying, so I'm gonna get rid of that. Let's check the shirt, make sure the shirt looks good. Shirt looks good. Alright, and I think I'm gonna just do a little quick small color grade on this. I think I'm gonna do black and white, and I'm going to let's check my blues. Lift the blue up a little bit right here and increase the blue there. I don't think my purples. Oh, there's some purple in my jeans. Okay, that's interesting. And yellow in my skin. Bring it down a little, maybe about right there, and bring the reds down in my skin. And I'm gonna put that on the luminosity. See how that looks before and after. Boom, boom. All right, so let's bring these blues back down to about right there. Dark blue. Lift this up. No, there we go. And what I'm gonna do also, I'm going to grab this quick selection tool, and I'm going to grab the shirt. Just like I said, I want to go ahead and pull the blues out of the shirt, because the shirt is black, and I'm going to create another hue saturation layer, and I'm going to target the blues and pull that saturation down. As you can see, now it's black. If you hold down the option key, you can see that right there. It's a little halo over my head, but it's not that bad. See the before and after, before and after. All right. So we got our black and white layer, hue and saturation, pull the blues out of the shirt. I'm gonna create another black and white layer, and I'm just gonna drop the opacity down to maybe it's about 12, maybe 15%. To knock out, you know, the overall saturation over the whole image. And I think I am cool with this. This is before and after. Yep, I think I like that. One more time, before and after. Now the rest of the saturation I'll just amp back up in Capture One. So I'm gonna exit out of this, hit save, hit OK, and I'm gonna go back to my Capture One app, and it should be regenerated. There we go, right there. Now I'm going to go back to my color correcting layers and Just gonna add a little more saturation overall, which will probably be right here. Bring it up to about 10. I like that. And sharpness should still look good. I don't want to add any more sharpness. I think this looks great. Yeah, so I think that's what I'm gonna roll with. So we got my before, got a lot of blue going on, and after. Let me see if I can show you guys. I know a lot of people are like, well, I like the more blue in this. Well, I don't. You know, it's a black shirt. You know, I guess the sky is casting a lot of blue onto the shirt. So I kind of wanted more, you know, a monotone look, which is what it's doing right here. What I might want to do though, I think I want to increase the whites though. Let me go over here and go back to my whites. That's kind of blowing it out. So what I think I want to do is probably go to the mid-tones and see how we look with those. Yeah, that looks great. And shadows, pull those down just a little bit. Yeah, that looks great. Oh, I need to be doing that on this layer. I'm tripping. I'm tripping. All right, so let's go back to the mid-tones and increase those a little bit, and go to the shadows and pull those down. Make sure it's not too dark. Shadow area. Check my highlights. I think we're cooking. I like that. Still testing, still testing. This is the fun part, color correcting and making sure you get the type of look you want. Let me check my dehaze. Whoa, increased by 413. Yeah, I think I'm gonna roll with this right here. You see again my before and after. Yeah, I think I just want more contrast in this shot though. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. I need more contrast. So let's keep that at 10. That's what I needed. An overall contrast, because I didn't want to add clarity, because clarity just makes it look super Photoshop, you know, but contrast can really give it, you know, that nice pop, you know, without going so overboard. And that's it. Now what I would usually do now, I would go and I would take the image that I edited before I sent it into Photoshop. So if this is the original image that I picked and this is the one I cleaned up, I would take this one and I would right click and I would go to should be, hold up, let me see, right click, nope, sorry, I would go over here to this selection here and I would go to copy, and basically what it's going to do is it's going to copy all the adjustments I made to this image, and then I will go to my next image that I want to work on in Photoshop. Let's say this image right here. Then I will go to apply and it will apply it to that, and then I will bring it into Photoshop and do the exact same thing, then save it and bring it back in, and then I will copy this cleanup and apply it to this. So let's just do that right quick, and then I'm gonna run through all of them separately, and I'll just show you the final images at the end. So again, we go to edit, go to Adobe Photoshop, make sure all the settings are still the same, go open up edit variants, and what I would do is Command J, make sure, you know, everything is, you know, gravy, that, you know, there's a couple of wrinkles that I'm not too happy with, but it's not too bad. All right, and move that, make the brush a little bigger, move that, move that, move that wrinkle, this one. I know you're like, man, how are you seeing this? Well, you do this a long time, you start noticing stuff really quick. All right, and this little thing here on the pole. Now what I would do, matter of fact, I will reopen up the exact same image. Let's go to open recent. Here we go. Instead of recreating the wheel, basically what I would do is just basically copy and paste over, you know. So if I can just get the same window up, where'd it go? There we go. So I would take the exact same black and white layer, just hold down shift, drag it over here, and take the same hue as set. And matter of fact, I just copy both of these, hold down shift, drag it over. But I want to fill this in and hit option delete. And what we're going to do is we're going to select the shirt again, and we're going to hit command delete. And there we go, we have our black shirt. Matter of fact, let me make sure, is that a shirt over there? Is that, yep, that's a shirt. So the exact same layers we had over here, we have over here now. So we can exit out of that, hit save, hit OK. And I would do this with all my images to make sure they all have the exact same, you know, color correcting quality. You want them to have the exact same image quality. So now you can see the PSD file over here, before and after. So you got your before image, your after image. Now what I would do is go to the exact same black and white layer over here that I color corrected and capture one after I finish Photoshop editing it, copy that and bring it back over here and then apply it to that, and boom. So now you have the same color correction on this one and this one. That way all the images have the exact same consistency all the way around. And that's what you do. So I'm gonna do that for the rest of the images. I'll share them at the end. Appreciate you guys for following me today on my quick little shoot from Mott Bow. Make sure you go follow them on Instagram and go buy some clothes from them because they fit really well. If you can't fit them, get in the gym. I love their pants. I could put them on. I don't have to put on the belt. They fit really good, and it's also like motivation to stay in the gym so I can keep my figure tight. So I have a lot of guys asking me about, brand ambassador deals and whatnot, and how I'm landing. And I'm like, well, dude, these people are sending me clothes because, I can fit them because of what I'm posting. So, if you don't want to work out, then, I don't know what to tell you. Or go look for a company and message them, cold call them, however you want to do it, and ask them, can you model their clothes if you're a plus size, if they're a plus size company, like Asus, what's the one that all the girls are doing? I can't think of the brand all the females are be doing, but they got a male clothing line also. Fashion Nova, that's it right there. Now I know they have plus size clothes for men too, but at the end of the day, consistency is key. Stay in shape, work on your poses, and get the job done. I still have to go in here and try and do some shooting for these Valentine ideas I have, and I'm kind of tired, but I'm pushing to get this content out for you guys. So please like and subscribe and share. I appreciate all the support, and I'll check in with you guys on next time. Peace.